Have you ever wondered, no? Have you ever wondered, what am I doing here? Or have you ever been lost? Today, Toastmaster McNitt is giving his icebreaker speech titled, Where to Next? Let's welcome Toastmaster McNitt.
Good morning.
Good morning.
He did his icebreaker before. This is not
What
his icebreaker.
is your favorite travel memory? Mine is a trip I took with my best friend in 2011. We traveled 8 states, over 4,000 miles, and we saw some of the most magnificent country on this planet. We covered Arches National Park, Grand Canyon, Antelope Canyon, which is an unknown, but it's a spectacular place to visit. We also traveled, now, I love to travel, okay? I have traveled throughout my life. I've traveled through 49 states. I have visited multiple countries, and all of these, I have just loved to travel. I was born in Michigan, and I was raised with 4 brothers, three brothers and 1 sister. My mother was a single mother until my father came into the picture, my stepfather. I call him my father because he was the only man in my family, or in my life. Okay? My mom married my dad, and then he adopted all 4 of us boys. And then immediately took us from Michigan and traveled us all the way across the country to Arizona. Imagine this, a family of 7, mom and dad, 4 boys, and 1 baby little girl, newborn, and a 110-pound blue tick hound, traveling in a sedan, towing a trailer with all of our worldly possessions, and we had to travel across the entire state to get to Arizona in the middle of the summer. It was not comfortable. Probably my least favorite trip ever. However, once we got to Arizona, one of the first things we started to do was explore our new environments. Where did we go? The farthest place we could find. We went out into the backcountry. We traveled places in that little sedan that Jeep drivers wouldn't go. But after the 5th or 6th time, when we almost tore the oil pan out of the car, we decided it was time to get a more appropriate vehicle. So we went out and bought a 4-wheel drive. Then our explorations got even more unique. We traveled places that most people have never, ever seen. We've seen country that nobody has ever walked. So we loved this travel. The whole family enjoyed it tremendously. After we had the Jeep for about a year, we bought a 5-acre property out west of Tucson because we couldn't stand the city anymore. So of course we had to get some critters to put on our property. So we bought goats. That's a trip. And of course we had to add horses. we were out in this 5-acre property with the family with no running water. So how did we get our water? We had to travel 5 miles down the Jeep Trail. And of course, we had to put the water into something, so we had 55-gallon drums. And we loaded these 55-gallon drums full of water, and we traveled back up that trail. This did not work very well with a Jeep that was about 3 feet off the ground. So consequently, we went out and bought a VW bus. And in this bus, since we could take the seats out, we could fit more barrels for water, so we made less trips. But to do that, we had to move that water out of that vehicle, and to do that, we had to roll it down the ramp. Picture me as a 14-year-old kid moving a 55-gallon drum full of water. Interesting. Never once did I spill anything. But we traveled all over the country. Once we got situated there, we had to figure out what we were going to do. Unfortunately, shortly after that, my dad had a heart attack, so we had to give up the ranch, and we had to move back into town. From there, we had no choice but to start moving to where family could help us. So we wound up moving to California. In California, we spent just a few years there, and then we moved off to Hawaii, where my brother and his wife lived. We've traveled many, many states. We've lived in many, many states. Once we moved back to the mainland, we came down here, and it was just, I moved down here by myself. I had a wonderful time, and now I'm experiencing some of the best times of my life. And having good friends is what makes it all possible.